There we go. Only use fresh and small fishes for soup. Yeah.
All right. Now we have
Bunch of fishes.
Yes, we need to set up the soup.
Yeah.
Why is it a mono if it's soup fishes?
It's a issue.
Okay, so all right, so it's supposed to be a flux, or
Yeah, it's supposed to be Flux.
All right.
We passed the test.
Nice catch. Because we need just
I'll add all the fishes here, maybe.
yeah. And then we want to only use the fresh and small.
so we want to filter maybe.
Yeah. Did we have some helper methods for checking these things?
They are on
They
the
sounded relevant, not so big, fresh enough.
Okay.
And we want the small and fresh. Okay. So we want that one and that one to be true.
Yeah.
Do we do 2 filters, or you want to do it in the same filter? 2
We
filters.
can do 2, right?
So if you want to consider performance, one filter is better. But if you want to consider readability and one line does one thing, one function does one thing, like practice, then 2 filters are better. Usually myself I use 2 filters. I just try to make it like one thing per operation.
Yeah. But will the performance be?
When you put a lot of filters after each other, actually I guess IDE gives you a hint or a warning. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
We're-
is there a lot of context switching per filter, or if you have any idea? I get that the EDE just tells you to, no, don't do this. But
yeah, exactly. It just says, don't do this. See, so this reactive stuff is kind of event driven. So there is a lot of operations going on when data moves to this filter and moves to the next filter.
Okay.
Yeah, like you could avoid that unnecessary data transportation if you use one filter. But I wouldn't do that unless I know that it's like a performance.
that's critical. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so now we should get the fresh ones and the small ones.
Yeah, looks good. And the test looks complete as well, I guess.
Okay, yeah, so we're expecting to get the fresh fish. That's not too big, and according to the description, caught today.
Yeah.
And the fresh enough fish. Yeah.
So in that order.
Depends
That's
on.
interesting. Yeah, I guess it'll depend on what order we gave it here.
Yeah.
Should we try and run it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
I'll try and change the order.
yeah, let's try that. Why not?
I guess it's the same kind of test that we did, that we just did, but
Yeah, exactly.
with the first test. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, cool.
Nice.
And this was the working state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to the question that Håkon, you asked that what is the better way of writing the previous test? Now we have like reference to our fishes here. So when we set our expectations, we just said, I just want that a specific fish that I know.
No.
But in the previous,
Right.
not just a detail, but in the previous test, the original collection was one of the collections was a set. And that doesn't have an order. So I don't know if we could guarantee that it, even if you had names on the fishes there, that they would be the same, right?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how the iterable part of set works. It should be orderless.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
orderless. So, yeah, at least by definition, and in practice, probably.
Yeah.
work.
That's true. Yeah. For this
Probably
test,
doesn't move around much. No.
yeah, that's a good point to take into account.
Yeah.
In the test, in the previous test, it didn't matter because the fishes didn't have any identifier. We just wanted to check if all of the fishes are headless. But yeah, when order matters, we need to be careful about putting a set into a flux. But the thing is, if you have a set, you already have lost the order. So when you put it in the flux, you can't have any order, but there's no order there. You just need to know it. If you do any assertions or you should not put any expectations on your flux, because the flux can't do much better than the set in terms of order.
It might just be that we're using these step verifiers. It feels like the order is usually pretty important. Or is that just because we're verifying it like this? Or it feels a bit counterintuitive for reactive.
So I'm not sure if I understood your question, but the way that you set up your expectations, that also has order. So if you change your expectations order, that would also fail the test.
Yeah. So maybe it's just the way we're asserting these things.
Yeah, exactly. So I just wrote it that way. So I'm setting the order myself. I'm setting the expected order myself. Yeah, exactly. That's right.